Yo, what's up? What's up? This your life coach, Omar. You know I'm doing great today, man. I'm a little tired, but I just got back from Guatemala, and I'm so excited today to be able to, man, interview some people that I call friend, man. And I'm pretty sure you're going to like this show today. But before we get to that, if you want to pass this around, make sure you tell your people to go on your Google Play or your Apple Store and download statusnetwork.net. You can go to your Apple Store and you can download this and follow us, man. Follow us. This is Loving Our Community. This is Life Coach Omar Howard. Listen, today is going to be a great day. The name of the show today is called Life Behind the Fence. And let me tell you, each one of these brothers here have something special to tell you about being behind those bars. But what's even more special about this one is each one of these brothers, man, had life sentences. That's why I called it today Life Behind the Bar. But this is the part one version of it. And when we saying life behind the bars, don't necessarily mean a life sentence, just about, especially about these brothers, that each one of them had a life sentence, man, and look where they're at now today in the real world. So I just want to start off today talking, first of all, giving a shout out to all my sponsors, Rockin' Tacos, Premier Queens, Cleaning Services, and all the other ones that will be coming follow up in the near future. I appreciate to all my sponsors, all my supporters who've been supporting me over the years for Freedom is a Choice, Inc. Like I said, just came back from Guatemala, took 3 of my mentees down there. We had a great time serving the community. Look forward to having them young brothers on here in a couple weeks talking about their experience of being in a very poor environment. But this is what this is all about. This is what all I've been doing since I've been out of prison, is mentoring young men and trying to get them, put them in different situations where they have exposure to turn their lives around, so they want to follow the same footsteps that I and many of my brothers and sisters have been out throughout the years. But without further ado, man, I want to introduce each one of my brothers. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves by name. And we're going to get right into this subject. And listen, if you have any question that you want to question, call 470-251-4443. That's 470-251-4443. You can call, ask any questions. We're open dialogue here. We're open book to the community. Remember, this is Loving Our Community. This is all about positivity. All right, we're going to start over here with my brother, Derek. Derek, give him your name, man. Tell him who you are.
Yeah, my name is Derek Warner. And in short, I'm just a brother trying to be a positive attribute to the community by any means I'm possibly able to do it.
Yeah, Quate.
Hey, what's going on? First of all, man, I want to give you a big thanks for just being able to be on this platform with you, you know. But my name is Quate Rowe, and later on through the podcast, you know, I'll share some of my experiences with you. We can get to know each other a little better.
All right, my brother. This guy, he like laughing, man.
My guy, man, I'm grateful for him. You know what I mean? He's been there for me. It's been a blessing. You know what I mean? My name is Mustafa Takwa Wali Udin. You'll get a chance to hear my story as well. And I'd like to thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, man, it's been an honor, man. It's been an honor for all my brothers, man. Let me share this, y'all. I really, as we're here live today, I want you to get your young ladies or your young sons, nephews, have them to chime in on this live. And if it ain't on live, it'll be a recording, so you'll see the recording over and over again. Let them hear some of the stories that they're going to hear today, and let them be inspired, you know. And I'm going to let also my brother be that, you know, you want to reach out one of these brothers individually, they'll be able to pass on their number, you know what I'm saying? Because each one of these brothers are willing to mentor and willing to inspire and willing to pour into each one of them lives. But we're going to get right into it. And once again, this is a live broadcast. If you have any questions, you can call it 470-251-4443. But I want to talk about prison real quick. First of all, I'm gonna reach out to you, brother, in short, man. What got you in prison, my guy?
What got me in prison was, it's kind of like broad, because there's many things that got me in prison.
Mm-hmm.
But the most thing that I can actually really say is not knowing who I was. An identity crisis as well as a culture crisis. You know, more so, you know, like the family, so to speak. not on one accord. The family like mostly like disunited, what led me to the streets. Because you be trying to find that loving family, that illusion what family is. But then when I hit the streets, I was like about what 13 years old when I truly hit the streets and just ripping and running, going back and forth. And as I was in the street, you know, I became involved in gangs and things of this nature. And that led down another spiral road would end up to my incarceration.
Wow. Was your family involved with you? Did your mom and father was involved in your life at the time?
Yes, my mother, she was there. My mother was there. My mother did the best she could. But like most women, man, when like my mother said, she didn't know what she was doing because she had me when she was like 16 years old, 16 to 17 years old. So I was her firstborn child. So all this, you know, it don't come with a handbook on how to raise
exactly
on how to raise young black men.
Exactly.
My grandfather was there, but my grandfather was in prison too. He went to prison too. So you know what I mean, I didn't truly know it at the time, but years down later, I found that the path that I was leaving was the same path that my grandfather had left.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Generational almost, right?
Yes, my father never been incarcerated. My father never been. He was there like physically, but he always felt like buying me materialistic things can cure the sickness and the disease that I had in the heart.
Wow. Who's your big influences?
I would like to say Dr. Jati, who's better known as Anthony Jackson to a lot of people, who died when I was incarcerated. He was a Black Panther part, always as well as related to George Jackson and things in that. Watani Taimba, who managed Tupac, who also is the co-founder of Malcolm X grassroots movement. Professor Akinyele out of Georgia State. Him. You know, it's a host of really like good people that each like in each particular area played a significant impact in my life.
So, how much time did you do?
I did 26 and a half years. I
Wow.
went into prison when I had just turned 17 years old.
So in the midst of that, what was that turning point for you? Because you came to Alto, you're a young man, being a young man doing what you do down there, but what came to that point in life where you just like, man, enough is enough for you?
Really, my real models, I don't really like to say role models, my real models, those who don't do no acting, they give it to me raw and uncut. They always sent me books, and books helped transform my way of thinking. One of the first books they sent me was the autobiography of Malcolm X, because I was Muslim when I went to Alto. So, but at the time when I went to Alto, I was more like, you had to feel like you had to put on a whole different persona, like you had to be more militant. Because I was a first degree black belt when I went to prison. So I felt like I had to hold on a whole different persona because I felt like I'm around wolves. But then when you get in the environment, you realize these ain't wolves, they just actors. You know what I mean? Trying to survive in a bad reality. When we all trying to really just, at the time, we're trying to find ourselves.
Yeah. So, I'm going to stop right there because we all Alto babies, right? So, Kwate, how you get to prison? What was your
Well, basically, man, just moving before I think, instead of thinking before I move. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, I was young, and I guess that just was a young man's way of feeling free. You know.
Yeah, never heard it like that, but yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. What you locked up for?
I was locked up for murder. I actually, they say a lot of murder cases it happens within your community.
Yeah.
And I actually shot a guy that I had been knowing all my life. All my life. And like I say, I was young. Thinking that that I was growner than I was. You know, and with certain things come responsibilities.
Oh yeah.
You know,
without a doubt.
You know, and because I was just turning 18 when I caught my case, but I had been toting guns since elementary school.
Young.
You know, since elementary school. You know that firsthand.
Yeah.
And man, but I never, you know, just understood the whole mechanics of, you know, just the way things work. You know, when dealing with these deadly tools. You know.
Oh yeah.
And inadvertently, I took a life. You know.
Wow. How old was you?
I was 18. I had just turned 18 2 months after I caught my case.
Really 17.
Really 17. Yeah.
How old was you?
17.
17.
Yeah.
And you know, it's amazing where you caught your case at. My mom was like right across the street at somebody's house.
Yeah.
Right at the time you did it.
Yeah.
And she didn't know who it was at the time, but you know, Derek. How you get in that system, man?
So my story is a little different in that I was angry. And the anger was a result of me seeing my mom go through some things as a kid that I didn't totally understand. And I felt as if the strife that was going on inside of that household was more of a burden than anything else, to the extent that I just did not want to be involved in it no more. And so I found love outside. And the guys that I felt or embraced as being friends, their influence was much more than whatever my mom had already instilled in me.
Yeah.
So I found myself selling drugs. And I was called one day to go hit a lick. And man, that guy had a different understanding than I had in my head about what we were trying to do. He felt like his life was in danger. And so thus, he put mine in a compromised situation, and I ended up killing him. But I said my situation is different because a lot of times guys are able to blame their situation on poverty and things of that nature, but I wasn't in a povertized situation. My mom was pretty well off. My situation was more so about me wanting to find somebody to be able to cry on, a shoulder to lean on to explain what I was going through on the inside, and wanting to get answers.
Wow.
A lot of different answers, because my stepfather was the one causing that abuse. And because of that, you know, when you are subjected to abuse, you want to reach out to your real biological father. Yes.
Loving our communities, Omar Howard. Who's calling? Hello. Well, I'm assuming they'll call back. They may get a chance to call back. Okay, they'll call back.
Yeah. So basically, the bottom line was, you know, I had a lot of questions.
Hey, Loving Our Community Status Network. This is Omar Howard calling. Who's calling?
It's Leonard Vick, man. Leonard Vick. I see y'all live. I just thought that you were live. I just wanted to join in.
Hey, how you doing today? You doing all right?
How you doing, buddy? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great today, Lonnie. You had any questions you want to say? You had anything you want to say?
I see you got Mustafa on today.
Yeah, I got Mustafa on, man. Couple of brothers, man. Been through the struggle, my guy. How you doing?
I know him. We work together.
You work together? Okay. Yeah, man.
We work at Amazon together.
Hey, brother, doing some great things, man. He really putting himself out there in the community, man, trying to make a difference, man. We definitely proud of him, man.
Yeah, you might not remember. I got your number a while back.
You got mine? You got to remind me, brother.
We met at Cherries.
We met at church?
Cherries on Memorial Drive.
Oh, at Cherries. Hey, listen, brother. Hey, saying that, man. Hey, brother, look, I'm finna do some more mentoring training, man. Hey, brother, we need all the positive brother we can get, man.
And I actually, funny, we've connected before. We connected in 2020, right before the pandemic.
Okay.
And I ran into you in there and then I actually lost my phone.
Okay.
Lost all my numbers.
Okay.
And then I think I inboxed you on Facebook, and I just saw the number to call in today.
Oh, man, I appreciate you, bro. Listen, man, take my number down, man. But, man, inbox me again. I'm going to give you my number, man. Like I said, I'm looking for all the positive brothers I can, man, because we got a lot of great things going to be coming up in the next several months. I'm going to need all the bodies on hand, man, all bodies on deck, man. We'd love to have you part of it.
Is it the same, is it the 480 number?
444-480-3235. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I'm inboxing you right now.
All right, I appreciate that, my guy. Appreciate you calling, my guy.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna give you a call this week.
That'd be great, man. Look forward to it.
Yeah, cool.
All right. So you said you had pretty much a decent life, but probably there's a lot of men that's in our community dealing with want a crowd, but don't really have nobody to crowd to. And then we gravitate to some of our peers, which some of us have some of the same peers, or we was running together, which, you know, in that state, I ran with, I always remember, we was at the fighting at Leachfield one day, and I wasn't really into the guns like that. And Tay walked up and said, "Hey man, you want a pistol?" "Nah, bro, I don't want no pistol." We fighting him, and he was young. He was like a year and a half younger than me, but he was ready. Like, "Nah, I don't want no pistol." I ain't ready for that yet. So this was like maybe a year too far I really got into the pistol, because we were just being silly, man. But what's crazy about it is that we all have been in the same place, right? Yeah. I didn't get a life sentence, but I went down on a manslaughter charge. But I want to say, man, I want to ask each one of y'all, man, what did prison do to you, man, mentally? Because some of these young people didn't understand, like, where your mind was at one time before you decided to change. Where was your mind at before you saw it, before you changed your life?
You know, when you 17, man, you get a life sentence at the age of 17. And when you go to Alto, they give you a card. Life is a card, a beige card. And that card said, a beige card. You know, this in the 90s, right? It's like 95, right? So when you get this card, and they tell you that your first parole date, and it's 95 now, and they tell you your first parole date is July the 6th, 2009, and I'm 17 years old. Man, I can't even fathom.
2000 what?
2009. I couldn't even fathom what it was. I couldn't even fathom, and your max out date got nothing but 8s. I
seen that one.
You know what I mean? So you get a beige card, then they don't call you by your name. You know, I still remember my number, 351918. They calling you by a number. Everything you have
316767
is a number. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you know, when you seeing it, it's hard to process that.
At 17.
You know what I mean? At 17, because the head DA told my mother I was gonna die in the penitentiary. Told me I would never see the streets again if I didn't talk. You know what I mean? Because I refused to make a statement. I refused to say anything. You know what I mean? Because you know, it's a code in the streets. You live by the code. You know what I mean? And whatever you sign up for, did what it was. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even though I was the only one that lived by the code. You know what I mean? In my situation. Yeah. But the fact remained is that I had to live. I had to stand up on it. I had to stand on principle. Yeah. So I couldn't be mad at my co-defendant. You know what I mean? At the time, I couldn't process that. You know what I mean? I looked at him as a whole. I like, man, this joke was just told. He's telling, you know what I mean? Then they went embellishing. But being 17, man, and not knowing if you're going to ever go home, like, was
that your thought one time, that you would never go home?
Yeah, that was my thought. So I was angry. That made me...
Even though they said there's a possibility you were home at 14, you thought you would
I didn't hear possibility.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because you said life in prison.
Because 14 years, whether you do 7 or 14, that's still, whether you max out on 14 or not, that's still like a life sentence when you first start.
But the thing is, though, when you get in there, I mean, so in the court system, initially, they tell you 7 years and then you're up for parole. But when you get the diagnostics and you go to population, and you talk to people, and everybody that have done 25 and better.
Yeah, that's a whole different mind. Yeah. You know? Yeah. How was you feeling when you were in there?
Honestly, it hadn't even really kicked in. I was so ignorant when I went in as far as my situation. You know, I get an Alto, and man, I just see so many of my partners. You know, guys from the neighborhood, guys I went to school with, guys I done played recreational ball with. So man, it was kind of like a it was like I was kind of like in the boys club for a minute. I'm just lost. I'm caught up in the we just having fun, right? Not even realizing, man, I might not even never get out of prison, and I'm in here playing. When thinking about no law library, when thinking about no fight my case, man, I'm just kicking it with the same partners I was kicking it with on the street. I got him in there with me, and we just rocking, we just passing time.
Like y'all ain't missed a beat.
Like we ain't missed a beat, man. Wow. Lost.
What about you, Derek?
Yeah, when I went in there, man, I was really just trying to figure out what the world was going on. Cause
that was my thought. Like, what was going on?
Yeah, like, one day I'm out, we hustling, making money, we having fun, we kicking, and next thing I know, I'm in the county jail for a murder case that I didn't intend to do. And, everything's fast-tracked. 1993, February, I got locked up for the case, and by August, I was in the system. Not even a good 6 months. And on my birthday at that. And I was just, when I went to Alto, just about to turn 19 years old. And, I don't know about you all, but they were seeking the death penalty on me. Yeah, they said I killed somebody execution style and it didn't happen.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Because I got locked up a couple weeks before you did.
Right behind me. And ironically enough, you know where I caught my case at because you had just seen me a week before that.
Yeah.
But, the thing is, coming off of speculations and about to be tried for a death penalty case, and then being told in a courtroom that you got 2 life sentences. What 18-year-old can digest that? So my mind everywhere, and then you get the Alto is predatory. So now you got to set your mind now, I'm finna hurt these jokers, they ain't finna hurt me.
Yeah. So
you ain't even really got time to process what's taking place in your life. Yeah. Thank God I had some loving, I'm not gonna say loving, I'm a loving mother.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was finna say people, but that wasn't true. Yeah. Because everybody except for her abandoned me.
Wow.
Real talk.
So before we continue on, we're gonna take a 30, 45 second break. Intermission. Life behind the fence, young people. This is dedicated to you. Choices that you make. My nonprofit is called Freedom is a Choice. Because life is about choices. And I promise you, and I probably can't speak for the guy, but I know I speak for myself, I regret a lot of life I lived as a young man. Because I threw a lot of my choices, great choices that I could have had playing basketball, enjoying life. Probably retiring by now. You know what I'm saying? Be retired out of somebody's business right now. But we're going to take a few seconds, and we'll be back in about 30 seconds. Loving our communities. Hey, welcome back to Loving Our Community. This is Life Coach Dr. Omar Howard. Man, listen, once again, man, I got some great brothers on here talking about life behind the fence, and as each one of them have told you, and all of us have been in prison on murder charges, but I only call it 18-year sentence. These brothers call it a life sentence, and they're out here today. But real quick, we're going to get into some real deep things about the condition of the prison, and then we're going to talk about where these brothers at now. Man, how this prison system is right now, man? If we talking to these young brothers, because it seems like some of them want to come to prison. It's like they're entertained by it, because it's different when we came in. We knew a few people that was in prison. Mm-hmm. But we wouldn't call them necessarily talking to nobody, even we could. Mm-hmm. I think I talked to one or two of my partners that was locked up here and there, but I didn't really think much about it. But these brothers talk to guys in prison, and they making it like it's okay to be in prison. Like, somebody explain where prison at right now, man.
You know, many do that because it's like it's a facade, right? Many, like, even the guys be behind the wall, they be acting like they got it all together. They be acting like they got it going on. But when the lights cut out, you know what I mean, and they mind and they get quiet, the reality check kicks in. Like, when you got, it ain't, life sentence ain't the same no more. Now you got to do 30 years before you eligible for parole. Period. They ain't saying you're going to make parole. This is before you eligible for parole. And you got dudes dying in prison. You know what I mean? You got dudes dying in prison on a large number. And they young.
And they got halfway through their sentence yet.
Nah, they at the beginning of it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times people forget that you did something to somebody, people on the street. And I don't think a lot of people understand that everybody, majority, everybody in the black community, white community, they got somebody locked up in their family. And that was even with us. If somebody heard somebody that we love, truly love, and that was there for us, when that person became behind the wall, you know, we went to trying to look for them. You know what I mean? But, like, there's nothing sweet about prison. Like, ain't no like these clothes we got on, how we look, how we able to just go to the refrigerator and drink what we want to drink. Behind the walls, you can't do none of that. You can't even sleep. I truly never, in the 26 years since I've been in prison, I never ever slept peacefully. And when I did sit peacefully, I take that back. The only time I ever slept peacefully when I was in solitary confinement, when I was in the hole, because I ain't had to worry about nobody sneaking, scrolling me, stabbing me, or anything of that nature while I'm asleep, because this is the things that was going on in the environment we in. You never know. It could be a mother that might not like what you said, but you say you don't want to watch TV, watch this particular show, or you told them, no, you can't get this. You never know what it was.
And you know what's crazy? Like, when I first got down the road, like, you know, we went to Alto, man. Alto was a different, man. Yeah. It was a different animal, man. Like, I always tell people, I said, when they first get diagnosed, man, you be looking at them old annex, man, be looking like Gotham City up there, man. You be looking like people hanging all out the window, you thinking gargoyles, and they shooting all, they talking all type of crazy mess to you. And of course you get in there and you get into the system. Like, I mean, it was just a weird environment. Alto was a weird environment to me, man.
Yeah. It was evil.
It was evil, man.
Yeah, most definitely. Had that real evil.
It was an evil cloud over that place, man. Yeah. But the system now is 20 times worse than what Alto ever could have been. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's what I want young people to understand. Like, you know, there's a shorter staff. Because when the guys tell me stories, man, when y'all be telling me stories about chain gang, man, I be like, whoa, I'm glad I came through what I came through. Because what a lot of guys don't know, and a lot of guys do know, everything mostly is gang affiliation, or you know, with the larger population is gang, and then the next part of it is Islam. I'm assuming the next is like Goldface or something. I don't know, something like that. However it's set up, there's a lot of politics in the camp prison now.
Well, definitely.
And you're moving way different than when I was moving in there, because I can't say I had necessarily a bad time in prison. You know, when you first get down, there's all type of crazy stuff said to you. But I can't say I didn't sleep comfortably, because I didn't really sleep bad. Because I didn't really get in much. I really didn't get in much, honestly. You know, everybody knew I was in the chapter service. I you know, and I did something totally different in my life. But now, I would be considered a civilian. Yeah. Because I'm a Christian, I'm not affiliated or anything like that. Man, do our young people understand what's about this mess, man?
You know, like you say, it's a different kind of beast now, and it's very political, dealing with the gangs and things like that. You know, at one point in time we came in, you could pretty much just stay to yourself, stay out the way, chill.
Whatever your belief was,
you good, right? Just make sure you just stay in your lane. You good.
Here and now. Some people didn't.
But now,
for the most part, most.
Now ain't no such thing as it. It's no such thing as it, because the drama comes to your door. It comes to your door. You know what I'm saying?
Whether you want or not.
Whether you want to be involved with it or not. You know what I'm saying? Here it is, you know, Muslim, right? I'm in a situation, I'm in my bed, I'm chilling, reading a book. I ain't had no beef with nobody in 13 years. But guess what? Now somebody knocking on my door. Brother, put your shoes on, man. We at war because something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
500 miles away, the whole other prison.
Yeah, I've heard that.
You know, because they got these they got these phones. They call it, hey man,
Smoke signals, huh?
we at war. You know what I'm saying? Smash on sight, all this kind of thing right here. So it's getting to the point, and not only that, it's like it's no consideration for life no more, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's what I've been seeing.
It's like everybody want to be known as dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everybody just waiting for an opportunity just to show how tough they are, even though we know they ain't that tough. You know what I'm saying? But this is what's going on. The violence is at an all-time high. But it's the same thing that got us there. It be just a cry.
So it really ain't too many more shoot a family no more, Harvey.
Oh man, ain't no. The only way, man, some families going on. If you got some guys in the dormitory that I've been in there and they got a little influence and they don't want to see these guys really just go there and they sit down and they arrange a family. But
you got to arrange a family.
You got to arrange.
Yeah, you got to because I was big on that. Like,
It's just that serious.
You got to arrange a family.
Because I was big on that.
Yeah.
Like
It's just that serious now.
Like when dudes get into it, like I don't believe in jumping. I always look at that as a form of being a coward.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Now, if you can't handle that man 1-on-1, you need to say you can't handle this dude 1-on-1. Then we make some other arrangements. You know what I mean? But even all the way up to the day I made parole, like before when I made parole, when I got the 90-day letter, I got into 2 fights. When dudes found out when they found out I made parole, it's like, oh, he trying to go. That's why he ain't saying. And
you became a target.
Yeah, I became a target.
Mm-hmm.
But each situation, when I handled them accordingly, I ain't had them problem no more. You know what I mean? When them young dudes said, he still got it. When they seen that the other side.
But that's like a rare situation though. Right?
No, it ain't rare. When people know you about to go home, and you got to realize they ain't going home.
No time soon.
You know what I mean? No time soon. So get what they want to do. A lot of them want to make sure that you don't never see that piece, that you don't never see the end of your journey.
Wow.
You know what I mean? They don't want that. You know what I mean? And ain't nothing your mama can do. I'm talking about your mama can call all the people she want. Ain't nothing the warden can do. You know what I mean? Because you ain't finna try to send a confinement like in a hole by yourself. You ain't even doing that. Now you got 3-man rooms.
Have y'all seen anybody die now?
Have I? Several.
Jeez. Yeah.
Several.
Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous with that, with the wars and things like that, man. And it traumatizes you, man. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the point we get to. Like, it becomes a place where you traumatize whether you want to be or not.
You want to be or not.
I was looking at a video where a guy was hanging over the rail for about 4 hours before and if it wasn't for the guy getting on the phone, legal phone, and the news folk picked it up. They tell how long he'd been in there.
Still sitting there.
Until eventually, they had to come get him, but they didn't even know about the man had died. You know, so I seen a video, guy get thrown over the rail. Seen guys, man, I seen some stuff, man. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, even though I work in the system. I work back in the system. All I do is get the stories, or the phone calls. But to live it every day
It's something different.
is something different. Now, you change in your life, and you start being you help open up a lot of the faith-based programs. Actually, this guy just came to the head with that. He said, Sharif, I said, what's up?
That's what's up.
So I was at a couple places with him. So what made you turn that to a point in your life?
So it's weird how that happened.
Tell me the story, but...
Yeah, so I'm in Hayes State Prison, James Donald, the commissioner, and he came in and wanted to start a new initiative called Faith and Character. Octavius Pitts, Sadiq, wanted me to come up to the part of the prison that he was at. So for us to do that, we had to pretty much get in the same dorm. Me, him, William Mayo, a couple of guys. And I signed up, ended up getting in the dorm, but Sadiq get moved. And, when they started talking about faith and character, something about the idea that just embraced my spirit.
How long you had been locked up at the time?
Let's say about 12 years. 12 or 13 years, something like that.
It's kind of that's kind of when our minds start looking at stuff differently.
Yeah, but my mind started looking at something different before that.
Did it?
Yeah, I'm at Jack T. Rutledge. I called a case, and they shipped me to Waycross, took me to Reedsville, gave me a polygraph test, took me back to court. I went through a lot, but my mom had to come visit me in Muskogee County Jail. So they took me to the county jail. Like, they reprocessed me while I'm already in prison. Oh, yeah. And I had been in 5 years at that time. Wow. And when she came to see me, dude, she sat in front of me. I ain't even know my mama hair was that great. It blew my mind. Yeah. And the only thing I could think of is, man, you still adding stress to this lady's life.
Facts.
And I made a prayer to God. And I wasn't even religiously inclined at that point. I wasn't into religion. It was for me just getting how you live, because I was like him. I didn't believe I was ever going home. But I made a prayer to God, you get me out of this, and I would not ever be the same person again. And God got me out of it, and I haven't been the same person again.
So we're going to do this. We're going to do this, fellas. I got to bring y'all back on a part 2 if that's okay with y'all.
Yeah.
Because, okay, I'm going to bring y'all back on a part 2 with this, man, because I think our young people need to hear this. And we're going to definitely promote it more, so hopefully have more kids involved looking in on this. And in a couple of weeks, we're gonna post, have y'all back on, man, because I'm just gonna do a part 1 and part 2 with girls, man. But I really believe this is important, that people hear and understand the pain and the trauma that comes with what we're going through. And then I want them to hear what y'all doing out here now and then, because not only is it gonna go toward the kids, but for those who are coming out the system, that even though you do a lot of time, man, I always tell people this: you can come out doing a lot of time and come out as a great person. You know what I'm saying? You come out as a great person. And sometimes you come out at the best time of your life because you're more thoughtful about life at the time, right? Real quickly, take 30 seconds. If you had to say something to a young person right now, what would you tell them?
Man, learn how to love yourself. Keep the Most High first. Be patient. Think before you react. Don't let your emotions override your rationale. Just be patient. Sit and just take your time and think.
What?
Most definitely. Love yourself, man. A lot of times, man, we get in those streets because it's a cry for help. When you're 9 and 10, you're throwing temper tantrums, it's a cry for help. But when you're 13, 14, you're doing it, it's looked at as being criminal. So, man, just love yourself and embrace the knowledge and wisdom and advice that comes your way from the people that love you, man. Because everything that I done been through, my parents already told me I was gonna go through it if I ain't get myself together. And it took me 26 years of my life behind the wall to really get it.
Wow. Derek.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like the old cat. What's that group? Flavor Flav and Chuck D. Public Enemy. Don't believe the hype.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I see out here now is these rappers getting on, the radio and the TV with these videos, singing these songs and glamorizing crime and violence. And at the end of the day, they're not really living like that. They ain't did no time. They don't want to do no time. If they had to be put up under their pressure, they couldn't stand under it. So don't get caught up in that world. That's really not nothing. It's not even real. Even for us, we did time, but that life wasn't real. And I think the proof is in the pudding, because look at how we living right now. Yeah. If it was that real, we'd still be doing the same thing. So yeah, just live the best version of you. Don't be afraid to live out in your own mind. Don't let other people dictate the way that you think. Think for yourself. Be your own individual, and just try to live a decent life.
Once again, it's your life coach Omar. This is part 1 of Life Behind the Fence. I want to say real quick to y'all young people, as you heard each one of my brothers, we're gonna come back here on a part 2. The first thing, I agree with the brother, love yourself. I believe in that with all my heart. Know your value. Know your value. When you look in that mirror every day, do you value the person? Do you love the person that you see in that mirror? Don't be so hood or so street or so gangster that you don't realize the people that love you the most. There's one scripture that I believe in: honor thy mother and thy father. There's one reason why I believe we're seeing some of the things that we see today, because we lost a lot of focus and honor our mothers and fathers. You didn't say that we were going to have disagreements, but anytime you become disrespectful, your parents ask you to do things, you don't do it, that's dishonoring them. And I think God has a serious problem when it comes to that, and he have shown it to all of us, and he's definitely showing it in his time. So honor thy mother and thy father, young people. I'm telling you, if you change some of the things that you do, if some of y'all would just tweak some things in your life, man, you'll be on track to a very prosperous life. Yo, this is your life coach, Omar. This loving our communities. Look forward to part 2. I got my brother Mustafa. my brother Kwate, my brother Derek. It's Life Coach Omar. We look forward to seeing y'all again. Once again, download statusnetwork.net. Be looking for us on YouTube with Live TV. Man, listen, I am looking forward to having a great weekend. You have a great weekend. Please be safe out there. All the things that's going on, keep God first, love yourself, love your family. Just loving our community. See you later.